I'd like to call the meeting of the Development Review Board to order, November 5, 2019. Dan?
Okay, first item on our agenda this evening are the minutes from last time.
Any changes?
Move to approve.
Barry? Move to approve. Dan, all in favor?
Next on our agenda, is we do have a witness oath. We ask everyone who speaks to the board this evening to sign. Since we only have one person tonight, I dispense with reading that. I know the Wayne's already signed it. So, the next item on our agenda is the disclosure of ex parte communications or conflicts of interest regarding the matter before the board this evening.
I'd like to bring up that he does my taxes. If people would like me to recuse myself, I'm willing to do it. So how do you feel?
He does his taxes. For what?
Full disclosure, so no objections from the board or the audience?
No.
Okay. No, that's the record. Thank you. Next, the only hearing we have this evening is Dwayne Greenwald at 700 Main Street, seeking approval for the addition of 2 dwelling units in an existing building on that location. This application was preliminarily reviewed by the application review panel, and that panel recommended that Dwayne make a presentation to the full board this evening. So here he is.
Good evening. For those of you who don't already know me, my name is Dwayne Greenewalt, and I am the proud owner of this beautiful property at 700 Main Street, which, as you know, is on the corner of Pleasant, at the top of Pleasant and Main, right on the corner there. In its previous lifetime, the ground floor used to be the Happy Cook was there, restaurant, and then before that, I believe it was Angelina's Sub Shop. But it's been vacant for quite some time. The ground floor has been vacant for much longer than the 2 apartments on the second floor have been vacant. I would say that they, from what I've been told, hasn't been rented in over 5 years. By way of some background, the second floor has currently 2 residential units. One is a 2-bedroom, and the other one is a single bedroom. The single bedroom is in acceptable condition. The 2-bedroom is in terrible condition. It was trashed by prior tenants. The ground floor where the restaurant used to be is just completely void of any equipment or anything. It's just open space, but in very, very rough shape. There was a pipe burst years ago, and there was water damage to the ceiling, and the floor is buckled. So it's a gut job, the first floor for sure. So my proposal tonight is I want to rehab the entire building, top to bottom. And this building needs everything. It needs a new heating system, new plumbing, new electrical. It needs new windows. It needs new siding. About the only thing the building doesn't need is a new roof. The roof is in excellent condition. So there's the silver lining. I'm sure you probably know that there is a lack of good, affordable, clean, modern, safe housing here in Bennington. There isn't a lot of housing that is modern, clean, new. My goal has been with these buildings that I've purchased and rehabbed to do that, to completely modernize them, bring them up to code. This is a very high-profile property, being on the corner there. It's been, like I said, vacant for many, many years. I'm currently finishing up a project with NeighborWorks, which is an organization based out of Rutland, correct? David Traver-Adolphus is here from NeighborWorks in case there's any questions. But I want to do another project with them, which is a grant program that allows for every $1 of grant up to a limit that they have that they put into the project, I have to put 2 of my own dollars into the project. The beauty of it is that I can do a third more than I could do on my own, so I can go that extra mile to better insulate, to put more modern equipment, just to do just a better job. And in exchange for that, I have to rent the majority of the building at a federally mandated amount of rent, and not to exceed a certain amount of rent, and to people who don't earn above a certain amount of income. to qualify for those units. And that's for a certain period of time, and that's the grant exchange. They're getting the low-income or below-market housing in exchange for the grant program. I'm thankful that you're considering my variance, because for this project to make sense, I need to have 4 units in the building because of the significant infrastructure that this building needs. Having just 3 units, the 2 on the top floor that are there, and then converting the 1 big space on the ground floor to 1 big 1,560 square foot apartment would not cover the costs or the investment to do it. I can't charge the amount of rent that I could for 2 smaller units that I would for 1 big giant unit. So splitting that ground floor and having 2 units instead of 1 would give me that extra economic benefit that would make the whole project work. So that's the purpose of coming here tonight, to ask for that 1 additional unit. And I must say that I'm not changing anything on the outside of the building. I'm not adding to the building. I'm not changing the dimension of the building. It's not getting any bigger. It's not getting any smaller. From the outside of the building, other than it going to look much better, there's not going to be any change to the lot dimensions, of course. And the building is going to stay exactly like it is, only it'll be made better by getting rid of the ramp that's falling apart and changing out the windows, changing the siding, and just improving the general look of the building from the street. But no size changes at all will occur to the building. Only on the inside, is where I would make those changes. We can't really start in this building probably until January, and I'm coming tonight because I want to be able to, if approved, to start getting that engineering and that architectural work done so that we could hit the ground, in January. The grant program, that hasn't even been finalized yet because that's still going through its processes. Sunsets on December 31st of next year, 2020. So this project has pretty much a 12-month period that it has to be completed. So it's a pretty tight window to get this thing done. So, I want to really get going on it as soon as possible to get it finished before December 31st, because the money gets cut off after December 31st if it's not spent, and we got to get the work done so it's done, invoiced out by then. I'd be happy to answer any questions on anything I've said here tonight or on the documentation that I provided the board. Anything is unclear or any.
I'm curious about how long you're required to use to have your housing available for low-income people.
Dave, could you?
When does it expire?
It's a minimum term of 5 years.
Okay. And I see that there are windows that are blocked on the house. Do you plan to open them back up?
Absolutely. That's on.
You also have a big picture window?
Yeah, that's, well, if you're talking about the west side of the building, which is the upper left-hand picture, yes, those windows were blocked off by the prior restaurant owner, I imagine, because from the inside you can't, it's just a straight sheetrock wall.
You also have a big bay window, a big picture window on the street side, and on the lower left picture, there's a clear indication of a window that's been covered.
Exactly. Those would be reopened and new windows would be put in there. The exterior of the building would be, this isn't really a word, symmetricized. I would want to try to look at the front of the building, which is by no means symmetrical, and readjust all those windows. I want to, on the second floor of the front of the building, which is the upper right-hand picture where they've got that one window, we want to put probably 2 more windows in there, 1 on each side of that window, to kind of make it just have a better street presence. But all of those windows that were blocked off were done because the inside of that restaurant area, they've got some mirrors, and they just, for whatever reason, they blocked them off. But they were there originally, and that's for sure. So we're going to definitely open those up and put new windows in there, because that would be the residential space down there on the first floor.
Right.
If there's no more questions, I would move that we approve the application as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Yes, Charles?
I'll second it.
Okay. I couldn't hear it. All in favor?
Point of order, you can't have to vote on variance.
Well, by making motion to approve your voting that the variance is warranted. Yep, that's how we've done it in the past. So it passes, did you vote, Barry?
No,
Okay, so you would be, are you opposed or
I'm
abstaining?
opposed, we
Okay.
have
So
discussion.
6 to 1. So,
Okay.
Get your shovel out.
Thank you.
I'll be sending you the official paperwork. Obviously, you have your answer.
I'm sorry?
You have your answer.
Oh, thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Formalize it over there.
You'll be very happy with the results. We're going to do a great job. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
All right, do we have any other business this evening?